Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashmi El Shai, Bashmachak Kodash, double honors under the elders of Apostle Great Millstone, the elders of Great Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings under the hopeful elect. The sincere servants of Yahweh, Bashmi El Shai, serve him in truth and sincerity. Yes, on the brother Chayaba from Z-Man's Plain Tables Camp. Come back with another lesson to his spirit. This lesson be based off of this article from time.com, which let's go ahead and read it. The article says, or the header, or the title says, "This will go further. Trump puts D.C. police under his control and deploys National Guard." And hey, brothers, have already done responses on this. But hey, showing you that we are in those times. This dude is putting down. Hey, Trump is Hey, well, he's obviously laying it down, man. With all these different things happening. Hey, we see that, hey, the cruel Lord, fierce king is in office. It says, President Donald Trump announced Monday he was temporarily putting the Washington, D.C. Police Department under federal control and deploying the National Guard on the streets of the nation's capital. A striking move taken over the objections of local leaders who say Trump is exaggerating the city's crime problems. Trump said he declared a public safety emergency and invoked Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act, which gives the President of the United States authority, the authority to commandeer DC's police department in conditions of an emergency nature. Attorney General Pam Bondi is now in charge of the Metropolitan Police Department, he said. Hey, man, and hey, this dude is moving. It says it's time for dramatic action, Trump said at a press conference that stretched to over an hour as he took questions on a wide range of topics. He did not specify how long the federal takeover of D.C. would last, though the executive order signed on Monday declared the administration would take over D.C. law enforcement for the maximum period permitted under the Home Rule Act, which is up to 30 days unless Congress authorizes an extension. Hey, so he says it's time for dramatic action. And again, hey, people thought that was about to be a time of peace, with Trump in office. But hey, no, this guy is simply this guy's in office. The Lord put this guy in office, to speed up the times, speed up these prophecies. And what we hope that this term is the last term, the last president of Babylon before it's destroyed, and what Yahushua comes back to deliver us. That's our main hope. That's what we're ultimately waiting for. It says Isaiah chapter 19:4. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts." Yeah, but the modern day Egyptians are the Americans, and modern day Egypt is America. Revelation, pretty much the scriptures say how Babylon the Great is known as spiritually Sodom and Egypt. We know Babylon the Great to be America, so this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. When you think about all the acts that both Sodom and Egypt were known for, you combine all that together, you get America. So that's why this place is referred to as, and what also is spiritually referred to as Babylon. Because it's heavy into idolatry. Sodom is heavy into that. Of course, it's heavy into the alphabet lifestyle that they push today. In Egypt, it was heavy in that the hard bondage, the hard bondage. That's what Egypt was known for, and also the many. Again, hey. Ultimately, what the hard bondage that the Egyptians put upon the Israelites. So, hey, the same thing is happening. So you combine all this together, and you get America. So it says Isaiah chapter 19:4, the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. So hey, going back to this article, it says in recent days, Trump is launching a rare expansion of presidential authority over local government. It said he will not stop with the nation's capital. In addition, he's not going to stop. It says, in addition to Washington, Trump also mentioned other major cities where he wants to put police under federal control, including New York City, Baltimore, and Oakland. They're so far gone, Trump said. This will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C. Hey, and you already know, hey, and Jake is these places are loaded with Jake, Pookie and Ray Ray, and again, just all these Jakes, hey, ultimately, Trump, obviously, well, he's laying it down. It says, in recent days, Trump has deployed federal officers from the U.S. Park Police, Immigration, and Customs Enforcement. It says the FBI, it says the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and the U.S. Marshals Service on night patrols in D.C., according to ATF's X account. On Monday, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth suggested other specialized units will be deployed in Washington, D.C., at Trump's direction. It says, you will see them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week, Hegseth said, without specifying how many. It says Trump added that he is prepared to send the military to D.C. Hey, so if needed, a move some critics warn may be a prelude to the to the president declaring martial law, which involves military rule over a civilian population in the times of crisis or emergency. Trump on Monday declared a public safety emergency in D.C., even though violent crime in the city is at a 30-year low, and said that 800 National Guard members will soon be stationed in the city. Hey, man, so so hey, you already know, man, who Trump's after. He's and that's what Esau does. He doesn't mention who's actually after, but we know he's after the tribes, man. He's after the so-called blacks. And I mean, hey, we already know he's been after the so-called Latinos. Ultimately the Northern Kingdom. Of course, Gad and Reuben's mixed among them too. So hey, they're getting hit too. So hey, that's why it's important to fear Yahweh Bashmi Shai right now, because hey, it's coming down, man. Again, the things that that Yahweh Bashmi Shai has put the Spirit on us to prophesy, because it's not our words. It's literally we're just reading the book and we're just breaking down the book through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. So hey, let's go ahead and get Ezekiel 33 and 33. It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Yeah, so when these things actually start to happen, and what they're happening as we speak, man, then they're going to know that a prophet have been among them. Oh, these guys were saying that this will happen for years, and it's finally happening. I mean, yeah. We told you it would happen. The word of the Lord does not fail. Every single prophecy that's within this book will come to pass. And it's not going to come to pass whenever you want it. It's not going to come to pass when it's convenient for you. No, it's going to come to pass whenever Yahweh Bashmi Shai wants it. We 100% see how we're clearly at the end times where these things will happen. And they're happening as we speak. For the remainder of these things is at the door. Martial law, And ultimately, we already know that this guy in AI, with AI, rapidly increasing at an exponential rate. We see the MOTB is right around the corner. MOTB, the implementation, the mandate of the MOTB, the mark of the beast, that's spoken about in Revelation chapter 13 and 16, which is the implant, the chip that they want to put in everybody. So, amen. That's the point. Scriptures say, I can end it off right here. Second Ezra chapter 16 and 71 says, they should be like madmen, sparing none. Or let's start at 2 Ezra chapter 16 and 70. It says, for there should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Yeah, because Esau wants to round up also the elect, the prophets, the ones who believe on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Esau wants to get them first and foremost, because ultimately what we're speaking against everything, we're revealing everything, of course, through the spirit power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And everything's coming up. And this dude is being revealed. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in a fire. Boom. Yeah, and what the scriptures say, how to fear not, because we're going to be thrown into prison. And what the scriptures say, 10 days, which 10 days is a symbolic number. It's symbolic unto completion. Yeah, it could be 10 days, could be 3 days, it could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. It's however many days Yahweh Bashim Yahushua wants to. And of course, not everybody will got to see how it plays out, but that is mentioned, being put into prison, but to fear not. If it does happen, which it will happen, but just ultimately, whoever the Lord is gonna deem to have to pass through, pretty much that fire, that test. And ultimately, everybody's going to be tested. We're all going to be tested. But of course, we pray unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that we endure unto the end. It says, verse 74, hear, O you my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Yeah. So the days of trouble are at hand. But Yahweh Bashim Yahushua will deliver us. So of course, we're going to be tried, but we're ultimately going to be delivered. And I say us because, again, we're part of the hopeful elect. That's our ultimate hope. That, of course, we're delivered and reserved. And ultimately, once Yahushua comes back, we're granted salvation. And up until that point, we hope that we pass through that fire. We hope that divine intervention, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, sends a divine intervention for us. Because, we can 100% see we're in those times, man. This guy's not slowing down. No, he's not coming. Trump isn't coming back to save America. He's coming back to make it fall even faster. And Yahweh Tazah, that he's the last guy who puts what ultimately brings us this place to nuclear destruction. Because ultimately that's what's gonna happen to America, according to the scriptures. Nuclear destruction. During World War III, the climax of World War III, which we're already in the beginning stages of World War III. And ultimately Yahushua is gonna aid in the destruction of this place by sending his angels, his chariots, to help desolate it. And of course, he's gonna deliver his elect, the elect Israelites that are within this land, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, the 1/3 of Israelites within America, the Lord will deliver them. The Lord will deliver them. And of course, that's who we hope to be a part of that remnant, to take part of their deliverance. But yeah, I believe that's the point. Lord's way, blessed and edified. Yahweh Bashmi Shai, Bashim Kakodash Brakatham. Shalom.